I can never forget that day when suddenly a storm came into the house. I was 25 years old, and feeling irrelevant to the world. The taunts of my mother-in-law and father-in-law, my husband's ridicule, and the breaking walls of my own self-confidence, all these were slowly turning my world into ruins. I felt as if every day I was being insulted by someone or the other, and yet, I was silently trying to live by killing my dreams in the hope of success one day. Do you think you can do anything? My mother-in-law told me one day. I still remember the wound of those words. You are made for household work only. What you are thinking can never happen. You don't even have any skills. These words seemed to penetrate my soul, and I realized that maybe they were right. After all, it was my job to do household chores and take care of the children. But even then I felt that my world could not be just like this. And then, the father-in-law's taunt, what are you thinking of? Business? For people like you, all this will remain just a dream. You will never be able to make it a reality. That day I promised myself that I would respond to all their taunts, but this time I would prove that I can do something big. To everyone at home I was just an ordinary woman. For my mother-in-law and father-in-law, I was just a housewife, whose job was only to take care of the house. My husband also never took me seriously. She felt that all that was important for me was to take care of the children and do the household work. But there was a passion in my heart, which was constantly telling me that I had to become something else. That was the day when I decided that I could no longer remain silent. I will dare to run after my dreams. I knew that this journey would not be easy, and that my family members would probably harass me even more, but this time I had convinced myself that I would have to walk this path alone. I slowly started making my plan. While doing household work, she would stay awake all night thinking about business. I started taking small steps, like taking online courses, reading books, and saving some money from my old job. I realized that success comes only when we believe in ourselves and work hard continuously. One day, when I was tired with household chores, my mother-in-law again taunted me. What are you thinking? You won't be able to do anything even for a day. This time I replied without hesitation, maybe this is all I have to do to be like you, but I will do it. On this, the mother-in-law taunted and said, just dreaming does not help. You should be happy with the household work and children, because you can never be ready for the world outside this. After that I heard the same thing from my husband. Did you ever think that you will be able to do business? You will always be doing household chores, and what you have thought can never be accomplished. But those words made me even stronger. I had made up my mind to follow my path. I wanted my self-reliance and independence. I knew that I would have to walk this path alone, and would not expect anyone's support. There was a strange spirit inside me, which inspired me to struggle every day and every moment. I planned to create an app for my business. My idea was that this app would help small businesses, helping them run their work in a better way. I knew it would be a challenging task, but I was confident that I could do it. The next few months were difficult. I had to work hard for a long time without any success, and at times I even started doubting my decision. But every time I felt like giving up, I would remember the taunts my family had given me. Their disbelief, their mockery, all this made me even stronger. I understood that I was doing this not just for myself, but for all those who had never considered me right. I realized that if I wanted to prove myself, I didn't need anyone's help. I created my own path. The family harassed me even more, but I did not want to look back. I had understood that if I wanted success, would have to expect from myself and not wait for anyone's blessings. The time was about to come when I would stand in front of my family and prove that I am no less than anyone. When I first started my business, it felt like a dream. No one believed that a housewife, busy with household chores day and night, could ever be successful. My family members, especially my mother-in-law and father-in-law, were laughing at me, but I felt that if I wanted to do this, I would have to ignore their taunts and disbelief. My husband had made me feel even more weak. What are you thinking? You can't run a business just by doing some online courses. You will get lost in household chores. These words were from the time when I started my work. I felt like sinking, but I had to do something. I promised myself that I would make my dreams come true, no matter what. In the beginning there were only difficulties. I started without any investment. It was very difficult to work from home and grow the business at the same time. I would do household work during the day, and gather information about the business on the laptop at night. There have been many times when I have thought that this is not for me anymore, but still I would gather courage and start again the next day. Slowly, I made a plan. The idea was to create an app for small businessmen so that they could easily manage their inventory, their customers, and their financial status. I named it Business Solution App. Although it was a huge step, I had no other choice. I started concentrating completely on it. Sometimes I would stay up at night and code for the app and then get busy with household chores the next day. My family thought that I was not doing anything. My mother-in-law would tell me, "You're wasting your time. You think you can build this business? You don't even have any education for this." My father-in-law would always say to me, "Why are you leaving the fight at home and dreaming of your dreams? Do you think you too will ever be successful?" These words were very painful for me, but every taunt was making me stronger. Sometimes, when things became more difficult, I would feel sad about my humiliation, but I would say to myself, if I have to prove it, I have to move forward every step of the way. Since then, I had learned that success is not achieved only by hard work, but also by determination. One day I thought I should launch the first version of my app. It was very difficult in the beginning, because I was working alone and my technical knowledge was also very limited. But somehow, I prepared the first version and contacted some small businessmen. This was a big step, because now I had to bring my idea forward. I remember when I talked to the first customer, they too were not expecting much from me. He said, "Will this really work?" I replied, "It's okay if you're not sure. But you can try it. If it works, we can move on." I remember, the first customer who adopted my app was also a small businessman. They were quite scared because they knew that this was a new idea and there were no guarantees. But when they started using my app, there was a huge difference in their business. They felt I was going in the right direction. This first experience gave me confidence. Then one after another, small merchants started adopting my app. I started getting the fruits of my struggle. Gradually, the name of the app started spreading and I started getting contacts from investors as well. My hard work was now paying off. It all truly felt like a dream, but I knew this was just the beginning. I will have to face more difficulties. My family members were surprised to see this change in me. They were not able to understand how this girl, who was once confined to the four walls of her house, had now reached this point in her business. When my mother-in-law asked me, "Can you really make this a business?" So I told her calmly, "I know it will be hard, but I will do it." Despite the taunts from my in-laws, I was determined to prove myself. During this trip, I learned a lot. I came to understand that one needs confidence and hard work to prove something, and that was the most important thing. I understood that the same people who never supported me would one day come asking for my help. Just thinking about this made me even more excited. There was a new dream in my eyes now. What was once lost from my eyes was now back inside me. The name of my app had now started spreading in the market. Gradually, small companies and shops started using it. But with this success, new avenues of struggle also started opening. My biggest fear was that I might lose my family in this journey. While my in-laws and husband were never supportive of me, my hopes were always that maybe they would love me and give me a chance. But I never gave up, and with this mindset I decided to move forward. I still remember one day when the first big client of my app sent me a mail, in which he wrote, "We have found your app very helpful. We now want to use it in every aspect of our business." This was nothing less than a victory for me. I was very happy at that time, but at the same time I also understood that success is not just a destination, but it is a journey, and there was still a lot more to learn in this journey. I took steps to further improve this successfully launched app. Also focused on technological improvements, customer service improvements, and marketing. I began to understand that a good product cannot be successful unless customers understand its true usefulness. So I formed my team and started working on people's feedback. Now my app was not limited to just small traders, but big traders were also adopting it. But my biggest challenge now was whom and how I could trust. My family members, for whom I had never saved any part of my hard work, suddenly started pretending to support me. My mother-in-law said one day, "You have proved everyone wrong. Now you can do whatever you want." My father-in-law also started noticing some changes. I found all this very strange, because these were the same people who had never seen me properly, and were now suddenly seeing me as a successful woman. But I promised myself that I would not care about them anymore. Now my focus was only on my business. I had to accept that I should not have any expectations from my family. Maybe now they would come to me asking for help, but my priority now was not to insult or taunt them. My priority was my business, which was expanding on a large scale day by day. One day, I got a big offer. A multinational company approached me and they offered to buy my company. This proposal was a big turning point for me. This was the moment when I realized that whatever I have done so far has been possible only because of my hard work and dreams. I took time to think about whether I should sell my company, or whether I should continue working hard to make it bigger. This proposal completely shook me from inside. My family members were very happy to see this success. My mother-in-law told me, "Now that you own such a big business, why don't you sell it and live a comfortable life?" But to me it all seemed just a show. I never chose this path to prove my successes to anyone. My husband also said to me one day, "Look, you have achieved a lot, now you leave it and live peacefully with us. You have everything, then why bother?" He too had never shown interest in my work, but now that I had become successful, he started talking about associating me with him. I realized that now it is my decision what to do with my success. I decided that I did not want to sell my company. I had to make it bigger with my hard work, because this was what my success really meant. I had to create my own identity, and I did not want my success to go into someone else's hands. With this in mind, I called my family one day and told them, whatever I did was not just for me, but it was for my dreams. I am not thinking of selling my company. I have to take it further. And yes, I am doing all this alone, so I don't need any help from anyone. Now I realized that I was feeling stronger than ever before. My identity was not limited to household chores only, but now I had proved that a woman can overcome any difficulty if she wants to. I had carved a new path out of my struggles, and now by walking that path, I had shown my family that I needed love and respect, not just taunts. I didn't give anyone a chance to laugh at me. Now my hard work and success were my biggest identity. My company had now achieved so much success that its name started being mentioned in every small and big business meeting. I was beginning to see the fruits of my hard work, but there was still one more big step I had to take. My biggest test now was whether I would be able to face my family and whether they would now appreciate my hard work or not. The way my family members used to ignore me earlier, they now started including me in their discussions. One day my mother-in-law called me and said, "You have achieved a lot now, son. Our help is no longer needed, but if you ever need anything, we would be happy to meet you." I felt a little strange after hearing this. People who had ignored me for so many years were now showing me happy. But I had decided in my mind that now I will not celebrate my success in front of anyone. My husband also now seemed excited to cooperate with me. He told me, "You have done all this with your hard work, now it is time for us to move forward together." I felt a little relieved after hearing this, but there was also deep disappointment in my heart. I replied to her, "I was doing all this alone and even now I can handle it alone. My family still thought that they had explained to me and that I was now on the right path, but I realized that they were now only looking at the things I had achieved and not the hard work I had gone through. I now had many new responsibilities. Using my app, small businessmen were able to improve and grow, and that was a real sign of my success. People would now listen to my story and say, "That girl showed that anyone can achieve their dreams by believing in themselves and working hard." Now I had decided that I will not only prove my business and myself, but will also do something for the society. I thought, why don't I do something for those women who are struggling, who were never given a chance, who never got the true value of their identity? So I started an NGO that helped women in business. This NGO started training women in small towns and villages to become self-reliant. My story was no longer just mine. Now I had become an inspiration for all those women who had once given up on their families, society, or themselves. I knew that the real meaning of success is to help others and give them a chance to move forward. I remember, one day my in-laws and father-in-law came to my office. He saw me and appreciated my work. The mother-in-law said, "You proved us wrong. We are proud of your success." My father-in-law had also started showing me the same respect which I had never expected from him. But I replied to him, "Proving you wrong doesn't matter to me anymore. What I am now is because of my own hard work and faith." My husband also now started supporting me completely. He said, "You have proved that you are no less than anyone. Now together we will take it further." But I explained to him again, "I have done all this for myself, and now I want to pursue it in my own way. You come along, but I have set it up alone." Even today, when I sit in my company's office and look at the outside world, I sometimes feel that those days have really passed when people used to tell me that I could never be of any use. Today my company has become a business worth crores of rupees. I have come a long way from the girl who once listened to the taunts of her family and struggled to prove herself. Now I am not just a successful businessman, but an example for all those women who have ever made their own path by breaking out of the expectations of society or family. This is what true success is: loving yourself, believing in your dreams, and proving to everyone through your hard work that you can do whatever you set your mind to. I did what no one ever expected from me. Now my name is respected everywhere, and my life has become an inspiration for women who were once searching for their true identity. Now I know that the real purpose of life is not just to prove myself, but to support all those who are still struggling in search of their identity. And this is true success.